What's up, Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast? Welcome into this special show we've got putting on today. For the first time ever, ESPN West Palm, ESPN Top 63 is deciding a play of the year, but you guys are actually going to be the one making the decision. I'm Cade Chumslin. He's the voice of high school game day, Mr. Christian Cat. Christian, I have 16 different plays to show you today. I want to get your initial reaction. We've got a bracket system going here. Do you like kind of what our idea was in this whole process?
I like it. I'm having high school football withdrawal. Ever since we watched West Boca raise a state championship in Miami, what was it, a month ago now? I need to get my fix. Let's get this going.
Yeah, so what we did was we wanted to make this a fun, long-term bracket-style challenge, a lot like you see on other different social media challenges, whether it's food or movies, or a lot of other people love doing this, and we wanted to do something as well. So myself, Theo Dorsey, and Brian Rowitz, who are out dispersed all across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast every Friday night during the high school football year, we decided to come together and we chose around 16 different plays that we thought would be eligible for this quote-unquote play of the year. And then how I ordered the bracket of these 16 teams was I went onto YouTube, which, by the way, every one of these plays you can find on YouTube, ESPN West Palm Play, guys, in our shorts section. You go onto the YouTube channel, you hit that shorts tab, and you can scroll down and you can find every one of these plays. And I looked at how many views each play had based on what you guys have been watching, and I decided to format the bracket like that. So number one is the most viewed play based on the plays that Theo, Brian, and myself all chose. So we're going to look at each one individually. You can see the bracket right here if you're live on YouTube or on X. We're doing this live stream. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. All of these plays are going to be decided via a vote on X at our Top 63 account. So you jump onto X or Twitter if people are still trying to figure out what that is. You go on there, you'll see every single bracket matchup right now via X. It's a vote that's going to be out for 2 days. And then we're going to have the winner after that. You're going to comment right now. We have them up. Comment which one you think is worthy of it. They're going to be up for a few days. And then we'll go into the second round, third round, and we'll eventually have a winner for this whole thing. So let's get going. We're going to stop sharing this bracket with you right now. And I'm going to jump over to our first play. This is our number one play. Thanks to Mr. Lincoln Graff from Atlanta. You see that right there, CCAT? Let's get that pulled up. Oh, my man. Okay, so this is what we called the Lincoln Graff dead leg juke. So check this out. And this is just an absolute slicer. Defender never really stood a chance here, CK.
When you try to tackle somebody and they're behind you, and you almost run like you're Super Saiyan, like they do in, like, was it Naruto? That's never a good sign on defense. Lincoln Graff, man, he's known for his arm, but he does it with his legs too.
The quarterback out of Atlantic had a stellar performance this year, and this juke, it says what he can do on the ground. You didn't even see what he could do through the air. And you could see how excited he was right after he made it happen. He couldn't even believe it. Our number one play in this graphic, go on to X right now. You can vote for him in the comments section. Now, CCAT, let's look at our number 16 play. Now, this only had 60 total views. Only 60 views, but I consider this to be the ultimate dark horse Cinderella in this entire competition because I wasn't even exactly sure how to handle this play when I first saw it. Can we see it up there?
Yeah, we got it.
Amazing. So this comes from Royal Palm Beach, an absolute stellar. It was just a completion, almost a Hail Mary type of look. You see that tip, but we're going to watch the whole play right here. This quarterback is completely washed at this point.
All right, that's Eli Manning, Super Bowl 2008.
Rolling out, and we're just going to, on the run, absolutely launch it. 3 defenders. Nope. Yes. He's completely draped in the pocket, and he absolutely on full speed runs, tip drill, just unbelievable hand-eye coordination. I'm shocked this is our number 16 play right now.
Yeah, he had it in his hands initially, then got hit by 2 different defenders. Hand-eye coordination, registered the football, pulled it down for a big gain. How about that?
You can find this on YouTube at ESPN West Palm. So that is our number 1 and our number 16 going head-to-head. Go into the comment section. UMBC. Tag who you like. Comment who you like. It's going to be a stellar show. So now we're going to head over to our number 2 play. And I think the whole world knew about this play when it initially happened. We're going to Mr. Brogan Weber, 59 yards out for the Jupiter Warriors, and he had some room on that one,
Yeah,
C-Cat.
the 49ers need to call him up. Jake Moody was like 10 yards short from 56
Yeah,
last night.
exactly.
I mean, get Weber on the phone. John Lynch, sign him up with the Niners.
Our Lou Groza, kicker of the year, absolutely dogged out on this one. 59-yarder, first round of the playoffs, no less, for the Jupiter Warriors. Definitely deserving to be in this competition. He's our number 2 play, and then facing off against our number 15 play. And this one of our plays of the week,
All right.
Palm Beach Gardens. Didn't necessarily have the best of years, but they got a huge highlight from Mr. David Lubin. It's going to be quick, but check out this out. We're talking one-handing, diving with a defender in his face, and he had that one from start to finish. Look at this in slow motion. He didn't have a chance to bring his other arm. He had his left arm, no
Can I see
less.
it one more time?
And
I don't
that's
know how
it.
he saw the football with the defender in his face. When did the football flash in his purview? And I love the stand up as if he does that every single day. And this isn't going to be a top play of the year nominee. The nonchalant nature, I think, gives him bonus points.
Seriously, David Lubin from Palm Beach Gardens facing up against Brogan Weber. 50, that's a tough pick right there. You're talking about a singular play. I mean, I know we had a huge kick, but that's going to be a tough one to beat. Again, you can vote for these on X in the comments section. Tag who you like, comment who you like. We'll call them all up at the end of our 2-day stretch. Let's go to number 3 on the list. 3 facing number 14. CK, you had the privilege of actually calling this play yourself. We're going to hit memory lane in that state championship. I'm talking about Mark Hannaford Jr. Going up in between 2 defenders, 2-on-1. Not a problem in the state championship.
That is just a wartime flashback, but a positive one. Mark Hannaford was a man possessed at Pitbull Stadium. I don't know how he caught this football, number 1. I don't know how he stayed on his feet, number 2, and it happened to come in the biggest game in West Boca High School history, bar none. Mark Hannaford's got a bright future in this area. That kid has next level athleticism.
Just a junior. We're going to see him next year too. This West Boca team full of young stars that we could see at this exact same moment a year from now. Mark Hannaford Jr. also went for a 93-yard touchdown at the end of the game, longest in Florida State Championship history. He is our number 3 play of this bracket, but not to be outdone. Now, this is a one you got to witness and call. This play is one that I was the only one who got to witness this magnificent mossing on the sideline. I'm talking about Demetrius Gibson Jr. from Royal Palm Beach. Royal Palm down by 2 points, trying to make it down the field into field goal range. And this is a freshman that we're talking about coming up so clutch at the end of this one, coming up with this. It's just the atmosphere. This was at Royal Palm Beach. I know it was between Royal Palm and Dr. Joaquin Garcia. We're not talking about some top tier teams, but a top tier play, no less, at the 14 spot.
You show up to any game under the Friday night lights, and you're going to see something that you have not seen before here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. And that play right there by Gibson of Royal Palm Beach is another example of that. And it's important to restate the situation because we talked about how the matchup in this one is Mark Hannaford in the state championship game. And that was in the first half, if I recall correctly, or the third quarter in that game. This is
less than a minute.
Yeah, 2-minute drill. If this play does not happen, Royal Palm loses the football game. If West Boca's play with Mark Hannaford doesn't happen, who's to say whether or not West Boca still wins that football game?
It was blowing my mind again. I was right in front of it. Couldn't believe it coming from the freshman. This 3-14 matchup. We're only 6 plays in, and I'm blown away by the talent we've got. And when I had to go through everything we had collected all year, I initially picked like 30 plays because I was too overwhelmed by the awesome talent that comes out of this area. But we move on. Let's go to number 4. This one's a little bit of a cheaper shot because it's technically 2 plays in one short, but they're the exact same type of play. I'm talking about Top 63's very own Javian Jones from the Kings Academy. This is to decide the district between Somerset Canyons, and he's going to take this one to the house from a defensive perspective, jumping the route as a cornerback, taking it to the house for the pick 6, but he didn't do it just once, C-Cat. He's going to do it twice. He's going to grab that tip one from across the field, work his way back, and no one is touching Javian Jones. 2 pick sixes in a district deciding game for the Kings Academy Lions.
Man, what a season for Javian Jones. He got the notice of us here at ESPN West Palm, ESPN Top 63. He caught the notice of many college scouts across the area. This is like a career-defining achievement for Javian Jones, and not one but 2 pick sixes in a game of that magnitude. You can't help but be impressed.
It was something to watch. He's a two-way player. He's equally as impressive as a wide receiver, but when he does it as a cornerback, it's something else. He's going to be going against the number 13 play. Another one, it's not. I'm going to tell you what. If I told you that a 15-yard run would be on this list, what would you say? It's just a 15-yard run.
15 yards. I'd be surprised it made the cut.
Well, what if it was a guy who was draped by 5 defenders at the same time? I'm talking about Mr. Phoenix Danya, who is relentless at actually coming down on the turf.
No.
I mean, I called this was my Angry Runs nomination. You know how NFL Network, Kyle Brandt does his Angry Runs section? I wanted this on that show. I'm talking completely wrapped up by 5 different Jensen Beach Falcons.
Come on, 3. You got to pull him down, 3. It's like you're ushering to the sideline. You got to bring him down. How about you, 14? Someone's got to go low.
Phoenix Danya was absolutely unbelievable. This game in particular, he went for 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. Phoenix Danya, another Groza nominee. He runs exactly like Isaiah Pacheco. It's incredible how relentless he is for the Benjamin Buccaneers. That's our 4-13 matchup. We roll on here on our special high school game day play of the year show. Again, all of these plays that you're watching right now, you can find on our Top 63X account. Go into that comment section, tag who you like, comment who you like. We're going to go through all of those at the end of 2 days and figure out the next round of this incredible bracket. Number 5 on our list, we cannot have a play of the year show without talking about Mr. Teddy Hoffman from the Atlanta Falcons here, C-Cat.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you went to an Atlantic football game, it was a Teddy Hoffman football game. You walked out of there seeing something you'd never seen before.
A classic Teddy toe tap on the sideline against the said Benjamin Buccaneers. He would put on some of the most unbelievable highlights you've ever seen. We're going to take another look at this one. On the sideline, jumping, keeping his whole body inbounds, and then having the wherewithal to reach that ball over the pylon. Just a snippet of what you saw from Teddy all year long, and this is by far, in my opinion, probably his greatest play of the year.
I mean, it's a catch in the NFL. He got both feet in bounds, and he got the football across the goal line. A ridiculous catch from that Eagle.
Exactly what you're going to be seeing him probably on Sundays. He's already committed to North Carolina State, and you're going to see him go a long way. Another game that you got to call yourself, C-Cat, little trip down memory lane. Once again, I'm talking about the D'Agostino dagger for Palm Beach Central against Benjamin.
Listen, when you know a kicker's name across 2 separate counties and across a wide spanning area like this, you know he's clutch and you know he's going to play at the next level. We're already seeing more offers roll in. I believe just yesterday, Ethan D'Agostino tweeted out that he got an offer from Florida State as well. So Ethan D'Agostino has been noticed nationwide, and his teammates have full faith in him. Look, I've been in high school football locker rooms. I've played the game. Rarely do you see that level of respect from the guys that are in the trenches to the guys that are playing special teams, namely kickers and punters. They certainly have that for Ethan.
This game winner against Benjamin, it was a back and forth game all night, but then in the rain, I believe this was like a 33-yarder-ish to come in so clutch. He was doing this type of stuff all year long. Ethan D'Agostino with the number 4 spot. I mean, Teddy Hoffman or Ethan D'Agostino, that's going to be a powerhouse matchup in our 5-12 spot. We continue on number 6 on this list, a little bit looking like Odell Beckham Jr. is this Wellington cornerback. I want you to take a nice close look at that interception.
Oh, wow. We were at that game too. We saw that game. What an interception. Twisting, contorting his body around the football. Because like these high school kids, they're not all 5 stars. They don't have the specs, the large hands that can really grab a football with 3 fingers like Odell did against the Cowboys. So he knows his own body to not just leave the hand out there and survive the ground. No, he contorts his whole body to cover up the football and protect it, secure the pick. That was one of 2 interceptions that night from that young man.
John Crocker from Wellington with something that we truly just you don't see this every day. This is something truly one of one and a highlight that we have captured it for him for the rest of time now.
Oh my, me and I believe it was Coach Jamel Stewart on the call in that game. We
He
couldn't
was
believe
blown
our
away by
eyes.
this.
We could not believe our eyes. It was a radio call, and it was probably not great journalism from our end because we were just taken away screaming because John Crocker made a play we haven't been able to see in many, many years at the high school level.
And he's at the number 6 spot going against the number 11 spot where we've got a tip drill interception to seal a football game. I'm talking the Fort Pierce Westwood
Hey,
Panthers sealing one against their rival Fort Pierce Central Cobras. This was the very last play of the game. Central in range to take the win, but Westwood said, not anymore.
oh my gosh, we're very familiar with head coach Chris Coquel, and when there's an Hail Mary situation and you see that first tip go up in the air and the second tip go straight up in the air, you had to imagine his heart skips a beat because rarely does that end up good for the defense. We saw it in the Bears Commanders game in the NFL just a couple of months ago that ball's supposed to get tipped up if you're on offense. That's the entire game plan, to tip that Hail Mary up in the air to survive not one but two tips and pick it off to seal the game. That's a lot for Fort Pierce.
All of this found on X. Go on to our Twitter right now. I apologize for my voice. I have had something attack my throat recently. So I'm staying alive here on High School Game Day Play of the Year bracket show. Let us continue on. We've only got 2 more matchups left. We're going to the number 7 spot. And this is one that in particular Theo Dorsey was blown away by. We're going right back to the Palm Beach Central Broncos. And if you were to do play-by-play, how would you even call this game? We're talking jump pass, tip drill, sideline, keep calling it in, and he's gone.
That's the thing about about Palm Beach Central. Whichever way their quarterback rolls right or rolls left, he has pretty much 4 college level targets. I almost want to extend that to 5 college athletes on either side. So rolling to his offhand, rolling left, jump pass to get that arm forward. That's a ridiculous play. And staying in bounds, the breakaway speed. Good God.
You saw this coming from Palm Beach Central, it seems like every week. Something ridiculous on the sideline like this. Unbelievable stuff coming from the Broncos week in and week out. We go to the number 10 seeded position. And if we're talking about clutch situations, epic matchups, you can't ignore the Muck Bowl.
Oh, of
And we've
course
got a
not.
touchdown for the ages from the Muck Bowl. Glades Central back end zone over defender CCAT.
We were on the call for that game. It was an electric atmosphere. It felt like anyone who has ever heard of the Muck Bowl decided to go to this year's Muck Bowl. There were NFL stars lining the sidelines. There was an hour-long wait to get in the building, and it was well worth it. A Muck Bowl for the ages. The comeback complete, the rebuild complete with Glade Central, and what a grab to really cap it off. A game that went to overtime, had all the dramatics, all the thrills, and all the plays.
Coach Omar Hagerbrook from Glade Central really did something special this year. What was it, 9, 10 wins after only 2 wins the previous year? Glade Central will be going somewhere, and this was the perfect pinnacle of the season.
And you would have talked to head coach Hagerbrook, and he would have said if he won every single other game this season except for the Muck Bowl,
Wouldn't have been worth it.
wouldn't have been a successful season. That's the game that matters. And the Glade Central Raiders really showed up when it mattered most.
Just one of many highlights. You can watch all of those Muck Bowl highlights also on our YouTube channel. Again, everything we got for you guys, it's all in one place. That's at ESPN West Palm on YouTube. Main videos, shorts. We've got all the highlights. That's our number 10 spot. We've got one last matchup. It's the 8-9, very, very close one here. West Boca has been on here quite a bit. Let's go back to them. This is in the semifinals, the deciding moment in the first quarter. It's a scoop and score from 99 yards out.
This game had all that in a bag of chips, and this certainly swung the momentum. We saw the West Boca offense come alive in the championship game, but in the semis and then throughout much of the playoffs, it was the other side of the football that really brought the Bulls to their destiny. And this defense, this front line, and a play like that, turning a 7-point deficit into a 7-point lead, unbelievable playmaking from the Bulls.
They're going up against Southridge, and I remember specifically in that drive, Southridge was having their way, and this could not have been a bigger momentum switch for West Boca for them to just really get on the right foot in these semis and ultimately led in their first state championship. It is just a play that this kid's going to remember for the rest of his life, and us here in Palm Beach County are never going to forget as well. That's the 8 seed. They're going against the 9 seed and another star, man. First time we're talking about Santa Lucia's. You can't talk about the Chiefs without Jamar Browder. And here he is. This is the culmination of what we call the slant and score. Just, it doesn't matter where he starts from, he's going to find the end zone.
Wow.
Just
Next
open
level,
slant, no big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to bring him down. It's Jamar Browder, the Michigan commit. It's impossible to take him down in one shot. You stand next to Jamar Browder. I believe he's like 6'5", and your complete intimidation factor is who he is. He stands over every defender, and he can take a play like this to the house anytime he wants to. He's got the 9 seed for us in our play of the year challenge, and that's going to be all for the bracket. Now let's go back to the bracket itself. CCAT, share my screen one more time, and we've got us right here. Now, CCAT, we've gone through all 16 plays. Is there something that stands out to you as one that could be a little bit of a dark horse, a little bit of a favorite? Now, you've seen everything we've presented to everyone else through X. You had to make a quick prediction of some teams you want to see go the distance in this tournament.
Now, it's really based on the voters, of course, and a lot of this bracket will depend on how they value the magnitude of the game, the magnitude of the portion of the game of which the play happened. Me, myself, if you were to take all these plays and put them isolated, Crocker's interception from Wellington, I believe,
Unbelievable.
is the best if you just took away what day it happened, what teams were playing, what the records of the teams were. Isolated, that's my favorite so far to make a run.
Yeah.
But when you factor in bringing back a state championship to Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, bringing back a state championship to ESPN Top 63 and ESPN West Palm, Mark Hannaford, man, that play was ridiculous if it happened on September 21st, let alone at Pitbull Stadium at FIU for a state championship. So those are the two plays that I have my eyes on, both for very different reasons.
Absolutely. That was the complete jolt that they needed for that entire team. Now, I love you talking about one where you just like have it isolated. You talk about that one-hander from David Lubin, the Palm Beach Gardens, diving end zone left-handed. I don't know if he's left-handed or not, but when you have one of your arms completely out of your way, and it almost seemed like he got tripped up a little bit, plus he got the dive in, for him to haul that ball in, and just like you said about the John Crocker one, for him to not only have an arm on it, but to also haul it in, keep it tucked to his body so that it was a completion, and then to just walk up and say, I do this all the time,
Yes.
was a complete dog from David Lumen. He's just a 15 seed right now. I'm excited to see if he can make the distance. As far as our top seeds go, I love your John Crocker interception, and then you can't ignore a 59-yard field goal. It's a 59-yard field goal, but then like it's a 59-yard field goal that we see too many kickers. I mean, Justin Tucker can't make a 30-yard field goal, it seems nowadays. Now, I don't mean to offend you as a Ravens fan, but like talking about the complexity of a field goal kick nowadays. We started this whole NFL season saying 50-yarders were no big deal. And now it seems like guys can't make even 40-yarders. And we got a high schooler at Jupiter High School who's knocking down 59-yarders.
So I ask you, Kate, I'll turn the tables on you. We've got 2 field goals in this bracket. One is a more manageable kind of routine 33-yarder, which we see at the high school level, not by every team. Not every team has a quality kicker, but Ethan D'Agostino is that. He nails that for the win in the wind and in the conditions against a very good opponent, Benjamin. But in the Jupiter game, it was a 59-yarder from Weber, but that game was kind of out of hand. The pressure was a little bit less on. The only pressure was, let's do something cool that's going to go viral that I'll see on SportsCenter tonight. If you had to pick between those 2 field goals, if they were matched up against each other, which way would you go?
I'd go for the 59-yarder. D'Agostino, I believe, was like a 33-yard. And I know it's not a quote-unquote chip shot, but I've seen Ethan kick. He'll kick a 47 like it's no big deal. He'll kick a 50 when he can. 33 yard, had it been any longer, make it a 45. I'm all for that play, but 59 is unheard of in the high school level. And solely off, even if it's just a joke, I think that in and of itself gives it the victory. But we're not the ones making the decision, guys. You are. So go on to X right now. Comment below on the matchups. They're all on X right now. Repost, comment, get as much publicity as you can because in 2 days, we're deciding the next round. Each one of these rounds, it's only going to be 2 days. So you guys have to be the ones who go out there and make these plays happen. And in just about a week, we're going to decide who had the best play of this entire high school football season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Kate Chumsland, Christian Cat. Keep around though, because we've got Theoretically Speaking at 2 and then Russo and Rizzo at 4. So stick around on ESPN West Palm Play. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great new year.